John, it's been a few weeks now since the players came back from their summer holidays. A few new faces as well. How's training gone the first few weeks?
Yeah, 7 new faces in. I wanted to get them in early, if that was at all possible. So I managed to get 7 players in. We've got 19 first team players, and we've got 5 modern apprentices, which I said the other night that we were obviously trying to get to 20, but unfortunately the money's not been able to go far enough to bring in another player, unfortunately. Of course, you could dilute the money a little bit and try to get other players, but you're going to have less quality. The idea was I would prefer to go with quality and have that number less, for the money that we had to bring players in the budget. So we are where we are and delighted at the players that we have got in. Everyone's been working really hard. With the number, we've been a little bit careful because we didn't want to run into injuries. The fans that have seen 1 or 2 of the games will have noticed that Aidan Nesbitt picked up an injury in the very first day of pre-season training. Liam Henderson came back from the close season with an injury. Even before we did anything here, he came back with an injury, a calf injury. But he managed to get himself back just in time for we had a game against St Johnstone last weekend, and he played in that. But unfortunately, he's aggravated that, so he's missing now. Aidan Nesbitt is now back. He's trained a couple of days now, so we have a bounce game tomorrow against Motherwell behind closed doors, and Aidan will play some part in that. Stephen McGlynn had an injection in his knee just to try and help that type of thing and take a little bit of edge off the pain that he gets in his knee. He gets that from time to time, and he was having it towards the end of last season, and so we were recommended an injection would kind of dull the pain a little bit, and it would help him get through games. So that's what's happened, and that's how he missed the Bunner game. He'll be available for the game tomorrow. But the guys have all worked very hard. The 2 goalkeepers, i.e. Sam Long and Nicky, are available for the game tomorrow. We were all very complimentary towards Owen, who stepped in on Tuesday night. A big game for him, for just coming in full time just in the last few weeks, and being put into a first team game very, very quickly, but he dealt with it really, really well. I'm delighted that we actually had the five modern apprentices were all on the pitch by the end of the game, which was again great for everyone. So, as I say, the 2 more senior goalkeepers, even though they're quite young themselves, they're both available for selection tomorrow and hopefully going forward. We've been trying to give everyone an opportunity in pre-season to gain valuable time on the pitch, and we're trying to share that in positions. So the left backs I want to describe very easily, because Sean and Leon are kind of like competing for that jersey. This time last year, Sean was having to deputise in at centre back to help out, so he's been able to get equally the same amount of time on the pitch as Leon, and Leon the same as Sean. So we've been trying to do that so that everyone gets an equal opportunity, and throughout the pre-season friendlies we've been trying to mix that up. Anyone who's came to see the games, we've had a team picked for the beginning and we've had a team picked for half time. So immediately at half time, the guys that have been playing, who know they're not going to play in the second half, go doing a bit of running to keep up their fitness because they're not going to play in the second half, and the other guys have been coming on. So again, everything's planned and prepared for everyone to get X amount of game time. Now, as we go along, as in we've got a game tomorrow and we've got a game next Saturday against Arbroath, we're getting closer and closer to the competitive football starting, and we start on the Tuesday the 18th in Edinburgh at Spartans. So we're building up to that, and obviously we need to try and get players playing more than 45 minutes. We need to get up towards getting 75, 80 minutes into them, and there'll be a certain player in a certain position, i.e. like Finn Yates, who's the right back. He's been playing a little bit more time than anyone, because he's the only one we have in that position. So Finn has played there previously. He played there for quite some time last season and did very well. So Finn's been getting familiar again with playing in there. He's equally happy in midfield, but we want to try and use Finn in that area and let him get really, really comfortable in the position. And then there'll be in central defence. We've had a combination of Cole and Tom coming in, and Brad, so they've been kind of sharing that game time. And also in midfield, as I mentioned, Brad Spencer's coming in. I think Brad's added quite a lot to our team already. And in there, there's been Ola playing, Stephen McGlynn played against Civil Service Strollers, but then will be available tomorrow. And Gary Oliver's been playing in behind against Civil Service Strollers. We played with Alfie and Ross through the middle, up top. And then the other games we've been playing Jordan Allen and Ross with Alfie competing in the wider areas with Callum and Calvin. So really, really good mix in there as well. So competition in virtually all positions bar one, and the guys' attitude has been first class. A big difference between the game against Civil Service Strollers and then Bonnyrigg. We were much slicker, a week more preparation, more working together, and getting that little bit more match sharpness. And you've seen the end product against Bonnyrigg was much better. The football was much better. The intensity of it is much better, and there was some really, really good football, some great moves, some really good attacking moves. We lost one goal. We went away from home in 3 games, won the 3 games, only losing 1 goal. Good for the team in general, but getting the clean sheets in these games is very, very important. Didn't really get enough of them last year. However, it's something that we look to do better, this season. Not concede as many goals and try to score a few more, and hopefully that can be the difference between, getting promoted and not.
You mentioned the 5 modern apprentices. Obviously, they've had a run out in the few pre-season matches we've had. You must have been delighted with the performances that some of them have put in. For example, Pierce Carroll coming on against Civil Service Strollers and getting an assist, as well as Scott Honeyman, and Scott Honeyman as well getting a goal against Bonnyrigg. It must be really pleasing for you to see that from the sidelines from them.
Absolutely, yeah. Pierce has been in obviously for a whole season. Last season he was in and around it, and unfortunately he had a family bereavement that kind of knocked him off midway through the season, and that kind of put pay to his season last season. So he's came back in, and you've seen there in the Civil Service Strollers game the little bits of quality that he's got that can produce a goal. So he had a great ball over the top for Jordan Allen to go in and score. And likewise, Scotty Honeyman, he picks the ball up wide in the area, beats the defender really, really well, and picks out again Jordan Allen to scores. Jordan gets himself a couple of goals. And the real bits of quality on the night came from Pierce and from Scotty to set Jordan up for these goals. And yes, of course, that's fantastic, because on the night, as I said, there was a lot of effort and a lot of commitment, and but we didn't quite click, and it was great that the young boys could come on in the game and produce that bit of real quality that we needed to get the goals. And Scotty could have scored another one, or he could have scored his first goal against Civil Service Strollers when he came in at the back post and he put it back across the face of the goal, and he narrowly missed. So yeah, Scotty ends up scoring against Bonnyrigg. He's in the right place at the right time. Calvin wins the ball back from them, inside their half, plays in Jordan Allen. Jordan, it's a great strike, which I think Paddy got a touch on, but it comes off the post. And Scotty's in the right place at the right time. Often you find that the wide players are still hanging out wide when they should be getting in. So it's been great for myself and Paul. We do an awful lot of video stuff, and the younger ones, you're hoping that they're listening and taking things on board when you're talking and having conversations with the senior players. And I can thankfully say that with Scotty and 1 or 2 others, they're picking things up very, very quickly, and they're getting in the positions that we want them to get into. And that's one of the biggest things for myself and Smudger Paul there, that you're telling the younger ones what you're looking for, and they're actually going and doing it. Logan Sinclair's been very good at the back. Logan played the last game of the season against Peterhead, went on in that game, and he's came in to pre-season. Natural left-sided centre back, hard to come by. So he's the youngest we've got on of all the 5 young boys, he is the youngest. He's got a little bit of growing to get done, we believe. Naturally left-sided, good on the ball, competes well. Been very pleased with him. Reece Walker just came back on holiday on the Monday, the day before we played Bonnyrigg, but we stuck him in the squad and he done a little bit of work, and then he managed to get the last 5 minutes or so. So it was nice to get all these guys involved, and we've obviously mentioned Owen previously, who played in that game as well. So that's the 5 players. It's great for them. It's great signal, whatever it is, to other young players in the academy that if you're good enough, then you'll get an opportunity. At the minute, we can't take any more on than 5. The club is still financially kind of restricted to what we can do with regards to bringing in modern apprentices. It would be great to have more, but again, as I say, finances dictate what we can do and what we can't do. But even that must give the younger players in the age groups below real encouragement that if you're doing well, then you'll get a little bit of an opportunity. It's pre-season, and it remains to be seen how much the younger ones can impact the first team, how much they can get in the first team. But guys like Scotty Honeyman, because you have to be physically ready for the demands, you've got to be mentally ready, and then you've got to have the ability. So that's 3 of the attributes that you've got to have, and certainly Scotty has got the physicality. He's a strong lad for still 17. He's a strong boy for 17. Good, powerful lad. Been done really well in the pre-season training. Mentally, it doesn't seem to affect him, and he has the ability, so it gives himself a right chance.
And a few more games as well for them to show what they can do before the competitive games start. I know you mentioned we've got a closed door game on Saturday, but looking ahead to the following Saturday, we're at home for the first time this pre-season against Arbroath. Is that something you and the rest of the squad are looking forward to, especially playing on the new pitch as well? How's that been for the players in training?
Yeah, well, we had an open day yesterday, an open training session, and that was the first time we were actually on the park. Thursday was the first day we got on the park, and it was great. The park's great. I'd like to thank everyone who turned up to the open day. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You've seen the guys training at their maximum, the effort that they put in, and the commitment that they put in, and the quality that was on show. And obviously we had a little photo and autograph kind of session after it, and I'm delighted that, for everyone that turned up for that. Thanks very much for turning up. So yeah, we've got the game tomorrow, which is again valuable time for the players to continue to gel, continue to see how you're now playing with your new teammates that we've got in, and the others to kick on as well. The whole team kind of getting together, good cohesion within it, everyone knowing their roles within the team and each other's roles, so we can be hit the ground running. So yes, the pitch was really good. The pitch was badly needing replaced. So we're delighted that between the Scottish Cup run and the kind of grants that the club managed to get, that we've got a brand new surface. It was going to help the team enormously. It will help the opposition as well, because we've got a much better pitch to play on, but we're training on it and playing on it all the time, so that's great. It's much truer surface now. It's got a little bit more give in it. You've obviously got better footing, shouldn't be quite so maybe slidey at times, and it's not going to be so damaging on the aches and pains that the players get after training sessions and after games. So yeah, we're delighted with that, and we're looking forward to the Arbroath game. We have this game tomorrow that you've mentioned through in Motherwell. We then have Arbroath. Now, before the League Cup comes out, we wouldn't have had a game organised, because we would have expected to be playing on the first Saturday. It turns out that we're not, and so Arbroath were in the same situation, and so I've organised this game to keep us ticking over, and it'll give the players even more time to get ready. It'll give us an opportunity to play a proper game on the pitch before we go into the real stuff. We are away from home the first 2 games, away to Sparns, away to Partick, so we'll have even more time to get used to the new pitch, and hopefully I've got a few points on the board before we play out here against Dundee United, and then finishing off with Peterhead in the group stages. So last year we managed to get through. it would be an amazing achievement to get through again this season. By no means going to be easy. We're still seeded third. You know, we shouldn't get through based on that, but we need to punch above our weight. You know, we do. You know, Partick are a really good side. Had a great end to the season. Just, you know, the last 20 minutes up at Dingwall will be, you know, probably no leave them for a while, but you know, they had a great end to the season, the games that they won and the way they went through most of the playoff games. So going into Glasgow to play them will be tough. Spartans will certainly not make it easy for us, and you know, the new team in the league just came up for the Lowland League, and they'll see ourselves as a massive scalp. So these are things that we need to, the challenges that we need to deal with. Aye, so we're looking forward to it, yeah.
And just finally, John, the other week we did a video where you gave the supporters a wee message of thanks for their backing and the amount of season tickets sold. I think at that point we'd just passed 2,250. After the early bird period finished that day, we were over 2,400. How crucial is that support going to be for the push next season?
Massive. No, thank you to every fan that's. Obviously, there's about another 200 tickets sold within that period that you said. So that was probably around about this time, you know, then, you know, sort of mid-afternoon. And yeah, approximately another 200 people went out and bought a season ticket. So that was fantastic. Absolutely delighted with the numbers that we've got. 2,400 plus. It's excellent, absolutely different class. And I'm sure that one or two will buy, maybe didn't get the early bird, but may still buy a season ticket by the time, you know, our first league game comes around. So it'll be great to have you in the stadium, backing the players and giving us your support as you always do. So, you know, thanks again to everyone who's managed to do that.
John, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers.